baby, this bitch knows how to blend. Genres, that is.
I had to see this film based on the description alone that it was the world's first Iranian vampire Western horror romance film. I mean, how could you not be intrigued?
I caught an interview with the director who said she drew inspiration from early German expressionist films such as Nosferatu, and spaghetti westerns like the films of Sergio Leone, another one of my favourite genres. Both these genres have a penchant for suspenseful build-ups, paid off with bursts of violence. And this is why they work so well together, such as in other western horrors like Bone Tomahawk.
Apart from it being in black and white and having the reputation as one of the most original horror films of the previous decade, I had absolutely no clue what I was walking into.
The film is set in a fictional town, literally named Bad City, and it follows a boy named Arash who lives alone with his father. His dad is a drug abuser who is in a large amount of debt to a local pimp/dealer, and it causes a lot of tension as he has to pay up for him and leaves his life in a standstill. We also follow the titular girl who creeps around at night looking mysterious, and just so happens to be a vampire. Straight off the bat, the film looks fantastic. The black and white visuals harkening back to the old Universal movies. There's a bounty of just gorgeous cinematography to be found, as black engulfs the screen and most of the film is set in the deep gloom of nighttime. There's a shot where a girl is dancing in front of a light and you can tell it just wouldn't have worked nearly as good if it had been in full colour. The girl is stunning. Sheila Vand was just perfect casting for this role. She has that mix of attractive, alluring, yet intimidating all at once, like the best vampires have. She just has this huge presence, and for a large majority of the movie is completely silent. But she isn't your usual quiet but deadly killer. We get to see her having fun, dancing away to music or creeping people out at night just for the hell of it. I was pleasantly surprised to see just how much personality she had. Arash is also a good character. He's trying to make ends meet despite so many things dragging him down in life. He's got a good nature, but isn't above committing crime to improve his situation. He's also a bit of a dork despite being presented as a handsome young boo. He feels like a fully fleshed out persona.
You really get a sense of how crooked this town is. Crime is rampant, any dead bodies they have are just thrown into the outskirts of town, and the whole place just has this really grimy and rundown look.
It's very along the lines of a modern western such as Breaking Bad, being set in modern times and involving underground crime, just with the look and feel that's pitch perfect for a western. And although I found the use of Ennio Morricone like horns and strings a bit out of place, I can't deny the western influences. And that's on top of the horror influences, on top of the indie romance influences. It's such a strange mix of so many elements, and yet it does it all so effortlessly, it never comes across as overly strange or quirky to the point it would exclude a more casual viewer. It keeps a consistent harsh tone throughout, be it a vampire murdering some poor sap, or a dude off his nut on ecstasy being pushed down the street on a skateboard. Around the halfway mark, I had no clue where it was going, and it also gets more artsy and different with long scenes of characters just being with each other, listening to music and such. For instance, there's a scene where you watch a transgendered person in a cowboy outfit dancing with a helium balloon, and it just doesn't have any explanation as to why it's there.
Brilliant! I have absolutely no idea what's going on.
It just adds to the surreal atmosphere the second half of this film has. It evolves from a tightly paced western horror into a strange romantic film, and then back into a suspenseful dramatic horror again, all without any jarring jumps in between.
However, the second half of the film isn't nearly as good as the first in my opinion. It kind of doesn't know what to do with all it's set up.
When there is some drama and conflict in the third act, it's pretty easily glossed over without anything really coming of it. Just as I was on the edge of my seat, suddenly the film was over, and it left me wanting a little more. It's a startlingly beautiful medley of multiple genres and films past and present, blending together to create something unique. While the second half gets a little too aimless for my liking, and it fizzles out on a rather dull note, everything else about the film kept me glued to my seat the entire runtime. Visually striking with great characters, and violent horror mixed with so many other things, it amazes me it works so well.
This is an easy recommendation for anyone who's a fan of horror, or if you're just looking for something that you've never encountered before. It's the best of about 5 worlds, and I'm much looking forward to watching it again in the future.